some of these other ideas in Siu Nim Tao, you know, whether you're punching straight out, launching it up here or here, and your tonsao, whether your tonsao is this low thing or your tonsao is up here with the angle, or even the fook sao coming out, you know, should that fook sao come kind of high, or should it be down here grounding and very low? And it kind of depends on what you're doing with it, okay? And what the situation is with your opponent's hands and their energy and kind of where they're trying to hit you on your center line. The one thing that I also wanted to discuss is, you know, on our straight vertical punch, you get tons of people that are saying, oh, you need to do the bottom 3 fingers, you know, and they're usually the Liang Ting people, or the, you know, and it might be Chun or Ching who taught that way, you know, and they're saying, well, it's these bottom 3 fingers. Well, the problem is they're punching, but by not having that angle, they're not protecting their center line as they punch. They're punching straight, they're opening up their center line to get hit, even with the Wu Sao there. So that is another reason why in our lineage we keep it bent, because we want that extra shield underneath that punch. The other reason why we don't do the wrist thing, some Wing Chun people are like, oh, that's part of that one inch punch, right? Or Wing Chun's 3-inch punch is what I call it. But the problem with that, try doing that on a sandbag, and you'll find that that is the most ridiculous thing you can do with your wrist. Yeah, when you're playing around with people and you do that, you can push that into their body and say, yeah, that works good. You hit somebody's skull, you're gonna break those little fingers, okay? Or possibly your wrist by doing that movement upwards. But if you do it on a very solid, heavy sandbag, what you'll find is you need to angle the wrists like this and bring all 4 fingers down into the bag, and instead of the hand being like this, it's more like a lop that's been brought in like that. And then all 4 fingers are straight and all 4 fingers hit the bag at the same time. And because of that angle of your wrists, you don't have to worry about the wrists breaking or hitting to the point where you have your wrist bow out wrong and you injure yourself, right? Plus, you want it to go kind of downward. And the reason why is not only are you punching, but if there are any arms out there, you are actually hooking them with your fist, pulling them down and putting that power into their body. So you're not just punching, but you're removing a defensive arm that's in the way and you're pulling it down and hitting, right? And then of course that is paired with your movement of your whole body, whether it's a shift or the movement with the stepping, the sliding step in the Buma, the penetrating forward stance, right? So that is kind of where some of the lineages, you know, it makes sense to do certain things at certain times, because I have found that it is good to have an upper punch that just shoots out, so you could be attached to arms and you can launch and hit, but there's also that idea of jamming the arm and hitting and punching downward, okay? That actually has more of the Wing Chun principle behind it, and the physics behind it are more devastating when you're punching that way than even the quick punch upward, okay? So unless you can get the dynamic of your whole body behind it, and there is a way to actually extend the knee to get that upward power, okay? Just as much as there is with the sliding and the heavy drop down of weight for the power in the punches that are kind of coming down and forward, okay?